to think that with a low GPA, you cannot get a scholarship, but that is not the case. And I am going to show you how and what scholarships you can get despite having a low GPA, because these scholarships are looking for other things, not just your GPA. So let us get this started. The first one, we are going to be looking at the Chevening scholarships in the UK. So the target here is actually emerging leaders from eligible territories. You have Nigeria, Kenya, Pakistan. So what is the low GPA offset that is done here? It requires a minimum of 2,800 hours of work experience, which is approximately 2 years. And the crucial update is that experience gained during the undergraduate studies, it no longer counts. So this must be sort of postgraduate work experience that you get. And then the other caveat here is that you have to return to your home country when you are done with the program. What is the goal here? The goal of the scholarship provider is to empower you such that you can make changes within your country. If they take you from your country, empower you, and then give you all of this knowledge, and then you can stay in their country, then what was it all for? The goal is for you to go back and contribute. That is why they're looking for people who have been working for like 2 years. You have an idea about the environment. You know how to do things. They give you the skills to go and continue doing the things that you're doing. So here they are not looking for GPA. They are looking for that work experience, someone who is already out there in the field working. Because if you're already out there in the field working, it shows that you know how to get things done. And then they just want to now give you the skills, the resources for you to get more done. So GPA is not necessarily the laser focus of this particular scholarship. Here they have this breakdown where they're talking about full-time employment versus part-time employment, work versus voluntary, like official work versus voluntary work. Regardless, all of this has to be 2,800 hours, and it has to be post graduation. Like this is not internship kind of a thing. You have to show that you are a serious person in this field. This is not internship level types of things. No. They need you to be actually out there doing some work, either voluntary service or actually like working. And then the next one, we are going to be looking at the World Bank scholarship and the DAAD EPOS scholarship. All right, you guys, I'm just going to take a minute here to tell you all about my database. My database has everything you need in order to succeed in your goals of studying abroad. If you want to really succeed, what you should do is get up every morning, sign up to this database, look through the scholarships, graduate assistantships, low tuition fee university, no application fee university, and then start your process of preparing to apply for whatever thing that you choose to apply for. If it is a scholarship, go through the process, go through the CV samples and use it as a guide to write yours. Go through the SOP samples, use it as a guide to write yours. Go through the research proposal samples and use all of them as a guide to write yours. If you're able to lock in 1 hour or 2 hours every day, by the end of this year, you are going to get that study abroad that you want. You are going to get that scholarship that you want. So go ahead and sign up. The World Bank, they are requiring 3 years of paid development related employment, which is acquired in the last 6 years. Condition, you must be currently employed in development work at the time of application. The focus areas here are finance, climate, health, education, and it generally does not accept volunteering or internship. What do you see where they're looking for here? Employed in a development related something that you're doing. So you have to be doing something, because same as the previous one, the Chevening, right? They want you to be already out there, boots on the ground, doing some things. Then they give you skills to go continue. Continuation is the goal here. It's not about your GPA. Have you been out there? Have you been working? Then you can apply for the scholarship. Now let's look at the next one, the DAAD EPOS Germany. They require at least 2 years of professional experience. They provide professionals engaged in planning and execution of development policies. The target here is developing country nationals, including Egypt, Myanmar, Uganda. Actually, I worked with some students last year who were applying for the DAAD. No, I was actually working with people who had gotten the scholarship to help other people who were trying to get the scholarship. And all of them were people who had actually executed programs, and they told me about the various programs. One was working on child protection, something in Nigeria. So you have to be someone who is already out there in the field doing something, and then you apply for this. So as you can see here, World Bank, same thing. They're looking for 3 years development related work. The DAAD professionals engage in planning and execution of development policies. So you need to have been out there doing the work, showing how much of a committed person you are to your goals, such that they can now just empower you to keep doing what you are already doing. Okay, let us go to the next one. Here we have the Swedish Institute scholarship. The target here is global professionals from 34 specific countries, including South Africa, Tanzania, Vietnam, Bangladesh, and a whole list of countries. So here they are not looking for a GPA. They have a low GPA offset. What they are actually looking for is a minimum of 3,000 hours of work experience and demonstrated leadership. And in defining leadership, what they are looking for is leading colleagues or organizations, influencing development strategy, mandate to allocate tasks, can be employment or civil society engagement. You all remember that when we're talking about the World Bank scholarship, they were asking for things that engaged in like development related work, right? This one, it is actually, you can also be in like civil society. That is fine also. So I think that you see this list of scholarships that we are listing here. All of these scholarships are looking for people who have led teams, are in teams, already out there working. Same thing with the Swedish Institute scholarship. If you're doing any of those things, if you're a professional out there already working, know that that GPA is not going to be something that they are looking for. They are looking for your potential and the things that you can do. The next one here, we have the Mastercard Foundation scholarship, and the target is youth from Africa facing economic and social barriers. So they have a low GPA offset here. So GPAs here, you are on the other end. So what they are looking for is explicitly those that have faced significant barriers, for example, financial, social, refugee status in accessing education. And you must demonstrate a commitment to giving back to your community. You must have some leadership potential. What you're already seeing here is that most of the time, they are looking, at least for the Mastercard Foundation, they are looking for someone that, and if you, let's just say, someone who has taken initiative, who has gone through sort of hardships in life, but not just going through hardships in life, because if that is the case, everyone has gone through hardships in life, right? Everyone has gone through hardships. But the idea is, what have you done with those hardships? What leadership potential? For example, let's say you went through some kind of a child trafficking incident in your life, God forbid. Oh my goodness, why did I use that example? Anywho, but now because of that, you've now started an organization which is aimed at protecting other kids so that they do not also get trafficked. Or maybe you have been doing some work with reference to some, like, they need to see some leadership potential in you. And when they see that leadership potential, they know that, okay, you are going to be someone that it is good that they help like elevate, because you have already done some work. And I say all of this to say that do not just sit there and be like, whoa, it's me, I've gone through so much trials and tribulations. Everyone has, but you have to be doing something. The scholarship is going to meet you on your way to doing something. It's not going to sort of pick you up from wherever you are and then fix you up and dust you. No. You have to be out there doing something already. And that scholarship will meet you on your way as you do those things. Then now let's look at the Australia Awards, which actually just opened recently. I actually tweeted out today about the Australia Awards. You'll definitely go ahead and apply for it. I have a video guiding you step by step on how to apply for it. So definitely apply for the Australia Awards. So, and the Rotary Scholarship. So the Australia Awards is looking for 2 years work experience and then a reintegration plan proving how your study is going to solve a problem in your sector upon returning home. Returning home, that part, because yeah, you all know the conversation. You're going abroad. It's not just about studies, but there is the pathway to citizenship or pathway to permanent residency. But with this scholarship, they're like, what is your plan to get back home? They want to know your plan to get back home, okay? And then the note here is people with disabilities are often exempt from work experience requirements. I did not know that. Alrighty, and then you have the Rotary Peace Fellowships. The requirement is 3 years full-time relevant work experience in peace and development. And then the gap year rule is you must have 3 years between your last degree and when the fellowship starts. I always wonder when they do this thing, because it's like when you get out of school, there is no guarantee that you have the opportunity to just go straight to work. Maybe something happened in between, and then they just disqualify you from being able to apply. And I'm like, oh Lord, that is not good at all. All right, let us go to the next one. You have the Orange Knowledge Program, and then which is the Norfolk program in the Netherlands. You cannot apply alone. You must be nominated by your employer. So the employer statement guaranteeing salary during your study and a position upon return to your country. Oh my goodness. These are some of those scholarships that I always feel I have a lot of opinions about, because now, how objective is it? If my buddy is the employer, can that employer just write a document for me, and then, or that employer can be like, give me this amount of money and I'm going to write a document for you to go study, right? So I don't know. I really have an issue with scholarships that have some kind of a gatekeeping, and that gatekeeping happens to be some kind of an employer or a government. It aches me a little bit. A part of me feels like it's not very objective. So those are just my thoughts. In the Aga Khan, you have half grant, half loan. You must pay 50%. You need to have genuine financial need, admission to a reputable program. And then the selected countries are Pakistan, Kenya, Syria, with no other means of financing. I have heard a little bit about this model where it's like 50% scholarship, 50% loan, and then you have to pay after you've done some work. Those financial instruments are very interesting to me. I got 4 fully funded scholarships, so I'm not very, very familiar with this, and I don't yet know anyone who has used this. And also, how do they track the students to make sure that when they are done with their programs, they pay, right? Because what if someone gets out and the person runs away? I'm not saying that people should run away, but I'm just putting it out. I'm just putting it out there. Alrighty, so now here you have the does your experience count? Volunteering for the Chevening, yes. World Bank, no. Swedish Institute, yes. Mastercard, yes. Part-time work, Chevening, yes. World Bank, yes. Swedish Institute, yes. Freelancing, Chevening, yes. Swedish Institute, yes. Pre-graduation work, no, no, no. So you have to know when they say work experience, what kind of work experience are they talking about? Because not all work experiences are built equal. And of course, there is always the issue of when you are done with your program, we really, really want to make sure that you go back home, you help your people, you contribute to society. That is what is extremely important here, not the GPA. So what you're going to be doing here now is, number 1, audit, calculate the exact hours. As you can see, most of these scholarships are really focused on the number of hours that you have worked. Secure certificates of employment, professional references, anything to show that you have been doing this work, and then you can apply for your admission, and then you get ready to move and get your scholarship regardless of your GPA. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this was helpful. Please do well to share this with a friend, a brother, a sister, an auntie, an uncle, anyone that you think that this is going to help. Do well to like the video. Let me know in the comment section, what did you think? Subscribe here. I am going to see you all in the next one. Peace.